What's up, you guys? YouTube, it is your boy JB, and we are here with the review for Married to Medicine, Season 8, Episode 4, Home Court Advantage. It is almost 11 o'clock, and these people are still upstairs thumping and bumping. God help me. I'm trying not to go ethnic on these people. Then let's get into the review, shall we? All right, you guys, so I'm going to start up with Anila. And the reason why I'm starting with Anila is because she actually kind of bored me, just to keep it real with you guys. So in this episode, we see Anila. So she and Kieran, they go to their home that they're having built. I think she said 900,000 square foot or something like that. I forgot how many square foot the house was. But at this point, they've expanded it. So, when they were going around the house talking about what was going to be what, I'm like, oh, that's nice. I mean, I still don't see it for her. You know what? Take it back. Stop saying you don't see it for Neela. She's just boring so far to me. Okay, be nice. Be nice. I will say though, however, when they were doing the tour with, giving her parents the tour, her mom, she was talking about what she doesn't like and what she would like. I'm like, wait a minute, lady. Are you paying for this house? Is it your money that's paying for it, or is it Kieran's money? If it's Kieran's money, mind your business. And I think that's actually what Kieran was trying to say. In a nutshell, mind your business. This ain't your house. You're not building it. Because the guest room, she was like, oh, this is too small. And then the ceilings, she's talking about they should be higher. Again, lady, whose money is going into this house? Now, if you chipping in on it, then sure. Give your input, but if you're not chipping in on it, mind your business and shut up and let them build it. So then we later see in the episode where Anila called Contessa and she wanted to meet up with Contessa to talk about what happened at the last dinner that they had with each other. So, Anila, you want to say that Contessa was disrespectful for getting up and leaving. How? I want you to explain how she was disrespectful. Because number one, you interjected in a situation that had nothing to do with you. That's number one. Number two, what would be disrespectful is for her to sit at that table and continue to go back and forth with Taya at that table. That would be disrespectful. Then you said she threatened your mama. Well, they played the footage back. She really didn't threaten your mom. She just told your mom that she's bigger and stronger than she is, which that's possibly true. But the thing is, your mama was grabbing the woman. Like, don't grab me. Don't put your hands up. If I'm telling you once, if I told you the first time, ma'am, don't touch me, and you continue to touch me, ma'am, stop touching me, and you continue to do it, Anila, your mama's lucky she didn't get her teeth knocked out. Just keeping it real with you. But Contessa apologized to her. If Contessa's better than me, I don't think I would have apologized to her, because I would have told her, like, your mama was grabbing me. I didn't threaten her. I just told her to get her hands off of me. And then for you to say it was rude for me to leave the table, now I get it might be part of your tradition to finish the meal. I get that. That's part of your tradition. But if I feel uncomfortable at a table, I'm not gonna sit somewhere and eat food where I'm uncomfortable. That's number one. And two. So yeah, I don't think if I was Contessa, I would have apologized. Just me being real. But let's move on. So I guess I should have started with Jackie, because Jackie didn't really have anything in this episode either. Is there any way that I can stretch this out? Not really. Oh. All right, so Jackie. So we see Jackie and she's at her office and the scene with Jackie was actually funny to me. Now, my TV did cut out, so I don't know. So there was some parts that I didn't catch. And the one part I didn't catch is when she was in her interview and she was talking about God. I didn't hear what she said because my TV cut out. But we see her, she's meeting with her patient. So her patient, she induced her labor because, she masturbated and gave herself an orgasm, so she had her baby. Wow. So you can really do that. Like you can, wow. Well, I guess so because they do say that's, when a woman gets down to, her last month, almost her due date, that she can't have sex and that can induce. Okay. That is really interesting. I guess that is interesting to hear. The, that an orgasm can help bring the baby out. Wow. It's just interesting to think about what women go through to have kids. My hat is off to all the mothers out there, because as a man, I just don't think I would be able to do it. If I was a woman, I just wouldn't be able to. I don't know if I could do that. Because, like I've told you guys before, I've watched the baby channel, I watched TLC, and I watched those women give birth. And yeah, when you see the vagina just get bigger for the baby to come, I'm like, oh, holy hell, no. And then this woman, she ripped. I'm like, oh, your vagina, your clitoris. Oh my God, ripping. Jesus Christ. I actually feel bad for my mom. She had to squeeze my big head, big-eared ass out. Oof. Yeah, I really feel bad for her. She had to squeeze all of this out. I did stretch it out. That's really what I was trying to do. All right, you guys, let's move on. All right, you guys, next up, Toya. Hell, she didn't have much in it either in this episode. But Toya, I don't think I can stretch her out. So she and Eugene, their boys are gone. So Toya decides that she wants to have a bath in the day with Eugene. Nothing's wrong with that. Toya is just frustrating this season to me. And I'm glad Eugene called her out on the fact that, she has been very snappy lately. And they showed the clips of her at at Heavenly's party. They showed her, what else was it? Most of it was Heavenly's party, when she was just going off. And I don't understand why Toya is snapping the way. You know what? I can't sit here and say that I understand what it's like in a pandemic when you have your kids at home and you have to homeschool them. I can't say that I understand that because I don't have any kids. I have my little 8-year-old cousin, but I don't homeschool him. Actually, he's back in school. So, I can't say that I understand where Toya's coming from. But as bad as she might have it, think about Eugene. Eugene works in the ER. He sees people every day that has COVID, and he has to worry about the fact if he's going to catch COVID and he's going to bring it home to his family. So down back on the snappy, I get it. You might be at your wit's end. I get that. But you also go to the tennis court and play tennis. So how bad can it really be? Because you're still able to go play tennis. I'm just asking a question. I'm not judging Toya. I'm just literally asking a question at this point. But Eugene tells her that they need to get back on. They need to get on. She needs to relax so they can get on one team with each other. I agree with him. I just don't know what the hell her issue is. But let's move on. All right, you guys. Next, let's discuss Simone. So we see Simone. So she and Michael, they are getting ready to go out shopping for Michael's dorm room. I actually just thought about this. They were talking, in the first episode, they were talking about where Michael was going to school at on a basketball scholarship. So there were no other D1 schools that weren't in basically country racist hick towns. I don't know if I would be comfortable with my child going to a school. I don't have a problem with my child. I wouldn't have a problem with my child going to a predominantly white college because I went to a predominantly white college. But I don't know if I would want my child to go somewhere where there are racist white people there. I would fear for my child every night. I really would. So I question. That's my answer. That's my thing. Is were there no other schools that were interested in him? So we also find out a little bit about Miles because I had been wondering about Miles this whole time. I'm like, what the hell is Miles doing? So she tells us Miles has taken a gap year from college and he's working full time. So that's good. At least he's doing something productive. If you're not going to go to school, at least work. At least work. You know what? I can't even judge him because I didn't work at all. I didn't work from my sophomore year of college up and no, take that lie back. I didn't work from my junior year of college to my senior. The last 2 years of college I didn't work because I just wanted to focus on school and graduating. But I worked the first 2 years. I don't know how I did that. The first semester I passed. The second semester I passed but struggled. But that's my story. So Simone tells Michael that she wants to do a family game, of basketball with the kids versus the adults. And Michael says, well, he wants Jackie there. He loves Jackie. I really hope Simone and Jackie can get back on one accord with one another, because I just couldn't imagine throwing away a 20-plus year friendship behind Heavenly, of all people. But let's move on. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap the episode up with Heavenly. So we see Heavenly's son, Zachary. I'm like, is this the first time we've ever saw him on camera? I think so. Because I can't remember ever really, I think we saw him once, maybe once. I know we saw Laura, and I know we saw Damon Jr. But I can't, for the life of me, say that we've ever really saw Zachary. So Zachary is a pre-med major, and he also has his real estate license. So I do like the fact that Heavenly is instilling in him generational wealth. I love that part about her, that she's instilling that in him. That's something that, we as Black people should teach our kids, about generational wealth, especially buying homes, keeping it in the family. So that way you pass it down from generation to generation. You always have something that is yours. So then she talks to him about Anila. So when Anila came to Damon's birthday party, Anila made a comment about her being, a person of color, which she is. She's not wrong about that. She is a person of color, and that we're the same. She is right about that as well. We are the same, but when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, that's where we're different. I get it. Anila has said that she has, dealt with racism. Did she say that they called her a sand N-word? Kids can be the cruelest. She was talking about what people call a sand. Damn. Now that is terrible to call some. That is terrible. So Heavenly is trying to figure out how she should talk to Anila about the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And I like what Zachary said to her. Just explain it to her. And even in Heavenly's interview, she explained it perfectly. She explained it very well why we don't say all lives matter, we say Black Lives Matter. It's just like people keep using, she used a tooth analogy of, you have one tooth and you have 32 teeth in your mouth. But say this tooth right here is hurting, you're not going to treat my other teeth. These are all healthy and fine. But it's just this one tooth that needs attention. Like a house burning, like say like your apartments, houses, if an apartment is on fire, if a whole apartment complex is on fire, like my building is on fire, the building next door is not gonna be like, hey, we're over here, we need some water, throw us some water. I mean, we're not on fire, but hey, what about us? So she made that, and that's just really all you gotta say to her is, yes, we know that all lives matter. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is right now we need to say that Black Lives Matter because Black lives matter less in this country. I mean, look at slavery, look at racism, look at slavery, Jim Crow, all that stuff. Like it looks like we're reverting back to Jim Crow laws. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. But I mean, just look at that kind of stuff. So then we see everyone and they show up for the game, with the exception of Jackie. I think that they said that Jackie had to work, So she was on call, so she wasn't able to make it. Now Toya, when Toya showed up, I absolutely have to agree with Heavenly. Girl, you showing up with a person that I don't know. Did you ask me, could you bring this woman to my crib? So I agree with her. So then Anila tells Toya that she met up with Contessa and Contessa apologized to her. And Toya's like, it was probably bullshit. Toya, shut up. God, Toya works my nerves. So they played a game. Heavenly cheats, but they won. Still, she cheated. So they sit down. Now, Heavenly, I was watching. The editing is so funny when they show those clips of what's happening in the next episode or what's coming up in the episode, because you saw Toya going off on Heaven, and I was almost on Heavenly's side. I'm like, damn, Toya, you come into this woman's house and you get into an argument with her, but I have to go back and be on Toya's side, which I kind of hate to do, be on Toya's side. So Kieran was taking the kids into the house. Heavenly was telling, what is her name? Anila, that since he works, you should be taking care of the kids. Are you serious? You don't know what this woman does. And she said, I'm a blogger. She's like, oh, I didn't know that was a real job. And then she even doubled back on it on Watch What Happens Live, because somebody asked her, you have a YouTube channel. You're a vlogger, right? So it's the same thing. Now, Heavenly did say one thing that is true of some people, but not of all people. Like one of your good friends on YouTube, I think that's what he does for a living. Dineva. Like you talking about, most people that you know do it as a hobby. Not everybody does it as a hobby. There are some people who do that, YouTube for a living. Like I said, I believe Dineva. I could be wrong, but I think that's the bulk of his income. I don't know, but I think so. I could be wrong. But for her to say that kind of stuff, I'm like, that's a little bit rude to that woman. She says she's a blogger. You talking about, I didn't know that was a real job. Okay, Heavily. Even some YouTubers, like, look at that. What's that little boy's name? Ryan, whatever his name is. That child is worth over $1 million because of YouTube. So yes, people can do blogging and vlogging as their primary job. So I was actually on Toya's side when she came at Heavenly, like, you being rude as hell for no reason. Like, shut up. So then she and Toya got into it. I'm like, oh God. So Toya, why were you talking about? Toya's talking about her closet, Heavenly's closet. Her fireplace, Heavenly's fireplace. They get into an argument about that. So then Heavenly brings up what Quad said. I really didn't care, to be quite honest with you guys. It was stupid at that point. At that point, that's when the argument really got stupid, and Heavenly and Hub were just going back and forth. And then Heavenly at the same time wanted to bring up the Black Lives Matter thing. I'm like, wait a minute. How do we throw that in there? Didn't your son tell you to be calm when you talk to this woman? You're not. You're upset. So your point is not getting, so you're not getting your point across. You just look stupid and foolish at this point. But yeah, that was Mirror to Medicine, you guys. Be sure to like this video. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to my planner channel, you guys. Also, I don't know what else. Yeah, you guys, subscribe to the channel. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. We are almost there, you guys. That's one thing I need to start saying at the beginning of this video. If you guys are watching my content and you like what I do, hit the subscribe button, guys. It's free. But you guys, that's it. I am going to be off of here, and I won't see you guys again until Tuesday for Delilah. Oh no, Delilah is off this week. So I will see you guys for, I guess we'll do Real Housewives of Dallas, since I haven't done it in 3 weeks. Real Housewives of Dallas and The Oval. All right. I hope you guys have a great night. Remember, you guys, wash your hands, wear your mask, socially distance, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.